morning, guys. Welcome back to the vlog. If you're new here, my name is Haley and I just recently studied abroad in Italy, and today we're going to talk about all things traveling with chronic pain, all those kinds of things. So just a little backstory on my chronic pain and why I feel that I can share travel tips. I have had chronic back pain since I was 12. When I was 18, I had surgery for it because I had a bulging disc in my back, and ever since now I'm 21, so it's been a few years, and so it's just been a long haul recovery. And the biggest thing that I've always struggled with is travel, just because you are sitting there and you can't really do much, and that's just the worst part of traveling, really, or being in a plane, being in a car, anything like that. So here's my tips for how I got to do things better. My first tip, this can apply to whether you're traveling car, bus, train, airplane, anything like that. It is to bring a comfy blanket, so something that you can just cover yourself with so you can get comfy enough to sleep. And then I also recommend a pillow. So this is one of my pillows that I have. It is just a simple, plain, small little throw pillow, but it's super soft. I recommend those over neck pillows because personally my neck stays pretty still, and you're in an airplane, a lot of them now have the seats that, like, on the headrest you can like bend them forward and then it kind of holds your head more in place. So I did that personally, and I found that having a pillow on my lower back really helped for some reason, or I could just move the pillow whenever I didn't want that. So, you know, I could change my level of comfort at all times, which was great. My second tip is to upgrade your seat if possible. If you're presented with a free upgrade for your seat, obviously you're going to take it, but I recommend looking into upgrading your seat and maybe purchasing one just a little bit more expensive than what you were going to get, just for the added comfort. I was originally going to fly economy, and I ended up deciding to fly business just the whole time, and that was probably the best choice that I could have made for myself. And there was a lot of different reasons for it. One, I would get more leg room. Two, I actually would have my checked bag included, and it was only like the price difference between the two options was the price of a checked bag. So I was like, that kind of evens out if I'm gonna have to spend that anyways. So it kind of made sense financially for me. I also flew with Delta. I didn't have any trouble with them my entire trip, so I found that they were the most painless airline to fly with. Whereas a lot of the other people in my group actually flew American or like something else, and they did not like it. So just take that into consideration as well. You want to make travel as easy as possible, so just make sure you're really considering who you're flying with and what your seat is. So definitely a big thing. Hey guys, my third tip is to maximize your legroom. So if you can pack lightly, do so. If you can put all of your stuff into your carry-on, do it, and then put that carry-on in the overhead, and then you can use that extra room underneath your seat. If you've watched my packing vlog, you know that I nested my carry-on inside my checked bag. So I just traveled with those as one on the way there, and then I had my big backpack as my carry-on. So on the way back, I actually checked my regular bag. I had my carry-on suitcase, and I used my backpack as my personal item. On my flight back from Rome, I was lucky that the person that was actually sitting next to me moved to a different row, so no one came and occupied that seat. I just moved it over to where his legroom would have been, and it was perfectly fine there, and I was able to like fully stretch out my legs, so that was really great. Then my connecting flight back home was the only time that I had to sit with that in front of me and be uncomfortable, so that really wasn't bad, and it was just 2 hours, and I slept for most of it. So. But point being, just pack as lightly as possible, put as, you know, be considerate, but try to put that stuff in the overhead if possible, just so you can maximize your leg room, especially if you don't want to upgrade your seat, because that can be pretty costly. I know I was like, ooh, should I be bougie and get a first class? And then I looked at the price and I was like, absolutely not. So definitely just make sure you're operating within your budget, but also doing what's best for you. My fourth tip is to bring a gigantic bottle of over-the-counter pain meds of your choosing. Personally, mine is Tylenol, and this is just the Up and Up off-brand of acetaminophen, but it's not going to focus, but that's what it is. So that was just my over-the-counter pain med of choice, and I took a gigantic bottle with me. One, because you never know when you're going to need it for yourself, but two, you're also never going to know who else in the trip is going to need it. And, you know, even if you don't have chronic pain and you're traveling abroad, you might as well bring a good sized bottle of over-the-counter pain meds just in case it's difficult to find there, because I know a lot of them, the other pharmacies across the world operate differently. So my 5th tip for traveling, just in general, is to dress comfy. I know it's so tempting to dress constantly, like super cute, super nice, but personally, and everyone in the trip and the whole vlogs can vouch for it, I was in my leggings and my comfortable athleisure, in my comfortable broken-in shoes, and I was doing great. It genuinely helped a lot with how I was feeling in general. And there were definitely times that I could have packed cuter outfits, or I could have worn cuter outfits for the whole day, but I decided that if I wanted to take pictures, I could go back and change, or I could bring another outfit with me and change somewhere else, but it is not worth going around all day long and being super uncomfortable in really tight jeans or something. So just not worth it. I did still take a lot of cute photos in my leggings and everything. I would kind of dress them up, but also, who cares? I didn't. I would go and occasionally take cute pictures in cute clothes, but that was a very short, limited amount of time, and that was that. So it's just kind of what you want to make of it. But personally, dressing comfy and dressing to what I know my body is going to like and appreciate me wearing was just a really good idea for me. So, and then my 6th and final tip, which is probably my best tip. I use this tip so often that people would just know that if we're in a form of transportation, Haley's doing this. And it was kind of a joke. It wasn't really a joke. But this is something that I've used since my chronic pain started to get really bad. And that is what I personally call the Navy SEAL method for falling asleep. I tried to look it up and I literally could not find the name of it. But it is the method where you just get as comfy as possible in whatever situation you're in, whether you are sitting, whether you are laying down. No matter what your position is, you try to get to one that is comfiest, and then you start from your feet up. And then you start from your feet and you go up. And basically you just kind of like imagine, I don't know, you just individually relax each part of your body. So I start in my feet, and when my feet feel relaxed and like they're going to sleep, then I go to my calves, and when my calves fall asleep, then I go to my thighs. And so you just kind of focus on each part of your body until it falls asleep, kind of like how your legs would be asleep. You know, if you sit somewhere too long and your leg would be asleep, it kind of gets that feeling. And then honestly, it knocks me out in like a minute. So it maybe takes me a minute to do that. I do it so often now, I can really just kind of boom, I'm asleep. So I highly suggest trying to learn whatever tactic makes you fall asleep fast. There are several Navy SEAL techniques for that. Apparently they're really known for it. There are several different techniques to get you to fall asleep in like under 5 minutes. So I just really recommend kind of getting those down and like knowing a few of them and just kind of using them a lot. So, and then just kind of practicing with them, because that has been a lifesaver. So I literally fell asleep whenever I was uncomfortable, which was usually on forms of transportation, but it's also really helpful to just make sure that you're being well rested at night. So even if the bed was uncomfortable, I could fall asleep. Because we stayed in 3 different places and the beds were all very different and the environments are all very different. The first place didn't even have air conditioning, so that one was kind of hard to fall asleep in. But definitely having that technique down made traveling so much easier because I was well rested I didn't have to be in so much pain all the time. Like, yes, I would be a little stiff, but pop a Tylenol and I was good. So, and that was my best kept secret. So now you know. Those are my main travel tips and the things that got me through my trip the most. Now I'm going to show you guys kind of what traveling looked like in a lot of our things. Honestly, riding in either the train or the airplane were my favorite, just because I found that they had the most room. The buses were extremely small and bus ride of terror. Anything for the vlog?
Pray for us.
Anything?
Howdy. The sights are beautiful.
We're gonna die on the bus. We're gonna die on this bus.
I got you. I'll just close that view.
Oh god. Earlier I was like sitting here and we stopped and I like flew. Okay, just like that. Just like that. Wow. Look at the vlog. Getting into it.
Everyone's seatbelting you right now.
Everyone is.
Vlog what's going on right now.
Oh.
Are these hills? We think we're on a roller coaster. No, the bus driver thinks we're on a roller coaster.
I just want a seatbelt. Like, I need the seatbelt. What happened?
There's no seatbelt on this bus.
We've been so close to everything, like the end of the road.
Send help. Okay, for these next clips, we have some footage on trains. So kind of what that looked like. And I also have some footage of us having lecture on the train as well. So that happened a lot, especially in the buses, because the buses had those little like tourist microphones where you would like give tour stops on the bus. Yeah, we used those for our lectures. The lectures that we had in some form of transportation always were not fun for me because I wanted to fall asleep because I was uncomfortable, and then two, I couldn't. So I found like it was hard to pay attention just because I was also focusing into the fact that I was uncomfy. So say good morning to the vlog. Good morning, vlog. It's an everyday.
Across the Grand Canal from St. Mark's Basilica to Doge's Palace. So a few things to know about Venice, just to give you a sense of the place. It's not old like the cities we've been going to. It's one of the newest cities in Italy. It was made in the medieval period.
Okay, these next clips are some of the airplane footage. My personal favorite seat on an airplane is one next to a window, just because I like to be able to see takeoff and all that. On my plane from Rome to come back to the States, I actually didn't get to sit in a window seat, but I did get an aisle seat in the middle. So like I was, you know, in the row where there's 4 people, I was this seat. So the aisle was right here. It worked out really nicely, and then there was no one sitting next to me. So that worked out fine. Okay guys, that is what traveling with chronic pain looks like for me. Of course, there's a lot of things that weren't included on that because I can't always pick up the vlog, but for the most part, following all those tips really helped, and I think that was the best trip that I've had with chronic pain the whole time. So I really suggest a lot of these tips. Of course, if they don't work for you, no pressure, or no pressure to try them. So it's just what works for me. I hope some of them work for you, make your life a little bit easier. But thanks for watching. Stay tuned if you want to see those daily vlogs. And leave your best chronic pain travel tips, or if you don't have chronic pain, leave your best travel tips down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much, and have a great rest of your day. Bye!